You're not bad with money. You were just never taught what money actually is. And that one missing lesson is why you're still struggling. Not because you don't earn enough. Not because life is unfair. Because of something happening inside your head every single time money enters your hands. Something nobody ever told you about. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Here's what everyone believes. If I just made a little more money, everything would be fine. One more raise, one more client, one more income stream. So you chase more, you work harder, you hustle longer, and when the money finally arrives, it's gone within days. More money. Same empty account, same tight chest at the end of the month. And nobody explains why. Because the people around you are in the same loop. They don't know either. Here's the truth. Nobody says more money doesn't fix a broken relationship with money. It just makes the problem louder. Let me take you somewhere familiar. It's a Tuesday. You just got paid. For about 20 minutes, you feel okay. Maybe even good. You check your balance. You breathe a little. You think, this time I'll be smarter with it. Then something small happens. A stressful message. A hard day. A moment of boredom. And without really deciding, you spend not on something you planned, on something that made you feel better in that moment. Food, a purchase, something that took the edge off, and it worked. For an hour, maybe two. Then the guilt came. Then you checked the balance. Then the tight feeling came back. Same cycle, different Tuesday. That's not a spending problem. That's an emotional regulation problem, and money is the tool you're using to solve it. And here's the part that changes everything once you understand it. You didn't choose to do this. You were taught to. Before you were old enough to have an opinion about money, you were already absorbing everything around you. How the adults in your life talked about money. What happened when there wasn't enough? What happened when there was. If money was always scarce, your brain learned, spend it fast. It won't last. If money caused pain, your brain learned, get rid of it before it causes more. If treats and rewards came in the form of money or spending, your brain learned, buying things is how you feel better. These are not your choices. These are programs, running silently, shaping every financial decision you make as an adult. And there's a reason most people never find this out. Because the pattern is invisible until someone names it. And I'm about to name exactly what yours looks like and why it's so hard to break. But first, I need you to feel how deep this actually goes. Think about the last 3 times you spent money you didn't plan to spend. Really think, what were you feeling right before each one? Stressed, anxious, bored, lonely, angry, tired. There was an emotion first, and spending was the response. Your brain made a connection a long time ago. Uncomfortable feeling goes in, spending comes out. Relief follows, and every time that loop completed, the connection got stronger. You've been training this response for years. Without knowing it, without choosing it, it's now automatic. Emotion appears, hand reaches for the phone, purchase much. Temporary relief. And here is uncomfortable truth number 1. Budgeting apps will not fix this. Spending trackers will not fix this, because those tools assume the problem is awareness. The problem is not awareness. You already know you're overspending. You know it in the moment. Sometimes you know it as you're doing it. And you do it anyway. Because the emotional need is louder than the logical knowledge, and logic never beats emotion. Not in the moment. Not when it counts. So what actually fixes it? That's what I want to show you. But you need to understand one more thing first, because there's a second layer to this, a deeper trap that keeps people stuck even after they understand the first one. Here's what the actual data shows. Income level has almost no correlation with financial stress below a certain threshold. People earning double what you earn right now report the same anxiety about money, same fear at the end of the month, same feeling that it's never quite enough. Same pattern, just bigger numbers, because they fixed the income and left the wiring untouched. And the wiring is what's running the show. The pattern scales with the income. Earn more, spend more to manage bigger emotions. More stress, need more. Repeat. You cannot outrun a psychological pattern by earning more money. you will lose every time. And now the second uncomfortable truth. Most people who think they have a money problem actually have an identity problem. They see themselves as someone who struggles with money, and that identity drives behavior that proves them right. Every time you say, "I'm just bad with money," your brain accepts that as a fact and acts accordingly. It stops looking for different choices. It stops resisting the emotional spending. Because bad with money is just who you are, right? Wrong? You are not bad with money. You are someone who was handed a broken set of tools and never given better ones. And that is completely different, because broken tools can be replaced. Identity can be but only if you stop accepting the old one. So here is the one shifts, just one that starts to break the pattern. The next time you feel the urge to spend, and you will, pause for 10 seconds and name the emotion underneath it, out loud or in your head. Just name it. I am stressed. I am bored. I am anxious. I am lonely. That's it. Just name it. Don't fight the urge. Don't judge yourself. Just name what's actually happening. Because the moment you name the emotion, you create a gap between the feeling and the automatic response. And in that gap, you have a choice. Maybe still spend? Maybe not. But now, it's a decision, not a reflex. Here's why this works at the neurological level. The emotional spending loop runs on autopilot. In the part of your brain that acts before you think, naming the emotion activates a different part of your brain. The part that can reason. You're not suppressing the emotion. You're rerouting the response. And every time you do this, even once, the automatic connection weakens slightly. Do it enough times and the loop loses its grip. Not completely, not overnight, but enough to start changing the pattern. And as the pattern changes, your identity changes with it, from someone who spends to feel better to someone who notices what they feel first. That is a different person, and that person handles money differently. Picture yourself 6 months from now. Not rich, not perfect, but different in a very specific way. Money komizin, and you don't feel that urgent rush to spend it. You sit with it. You decide, you choose. Hard days still happen. Stress still comes. But you no longer reach for your wallet as the first response. You have other tools now. And money, for the first time, starts to stay. Not because you earn more, because you stopped using it to plug holes in your emotional life. And from that position, real decisions become possible. Saving, investing, building, choosing, breathing. That version of you is not far away. It starts with one named emotion. Remember what I said at the start. You're not bad with money. You were just never taught what money actually is. And what nobody told you is that money is not a solution to pain. It never was. It just felt like one. Every time you spent to feel better, you were borrowing relief from your future self. And your future self is tired of paying that debt. It's time to stop. It's not your fault you learned this, but it is your responsibility to fix it.